Good afternoon and welcome to Channel Sport on Sunday. We will not smile, but then before we came on, did the Eagles, did they play well or didn't they? Did they just win? Was it a gamble? Even the changes were saying Keshi's hands were forced. But as it is now, there is a ray of hope. All we need to do is beat South Africa on the 19th, which is on Wednesday, by any margin at all. Beat South Africa, and we are in Equatorial Guinea, not Morocco this time around, for the 2015 African Cup of Nations. From 1 point in the first 2 or 3 matches, we are right there now with 7 points second on the log, and then South Africa untouchable, uncatchable. They're on 11 points. You don't get 4 points by winning the match. So whatever happens between Congo and Nigeria, one team will automatically join. And even the two teams still have a bright chance of moving in as one of the best losers if they can get, of course, Nigeria must win. So 10 points put us through. Also, but Congo, a draw might see them, if possible, down there. But as it is, our destiny is back in our hands, and that is what it is like. We'll start on this bright note. And we definitely want to start from home if they will allow it, because the issue has to be Super Eagles, Stephen Keshi. And then when we do open the lines, yes, we want to let you know, if you can let us know what you feel, how you feel the team played yesterday against the Congolese. We'll also look at the security situation, because immediately after the Super Eagles went ahead, all hell went loose. Tear gas, everything was being thrown there. We don't know what decision CAF will take in that particular regard. I do believe also probably we might also send our protest there to let them understand that yes, football is a fair game. Football is supposed to be a friendly thing and not war. But I have the league experts in the house, the football experts. They will start from the National League. We're talking about Kano Pillars 1. The issue is who joins them to go into the continent, and also upsuiting. You can't beat that, upsuiting. Larry.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here. I love your intro. I love the fact that you talked about what Stephen Keshi has done, where the changes first, or can we appraise his tactical acumen to say, yes, Keshi is amongst the best in the world, like Louis van Gaal and Pep Guardiola. We'll talk about that lot later. Shooting Stars back where they rightly belong. I mean, they should be competing with the Iwanya National, Turned Heartland, and Rangers International. And they did in fine style yesterday, beating Aqua United by 1-0. Aqua United was also in contention. If Aqua had drawn that game, Aqua would have come instead of Shooting Stars. But Shooting Stars did what they know how to actually do best. They won that game 1-0. It was a brilliant result. Shooting Stars have not conceded now since week 9 in the league, and the yesterday was week 30. It was brilliant, and what that victory meant yesterday was that Shooting Stars actually won all their 15 games at home, and that all their 15 home games, won everything, and then they had 5 draws on the road. So Shooting Stars will give Enyimba, Kano Pillars, and the likes a run for their money next season.
But I mean, that statistic is scary.
It's scary. They've been
19, that is 19 unbeaten.
Yeah, absolutely formidable, especially at home. And if they can keep that spirit going into the top flight, like Larry said, they'll take some stopping next season, because as we've seen Enyimba do this season, the extent to which you do well most of the time is premised on how invincible, even Kano Pillars, you are on your own patch.
Kano Pillars is about 10 years on record?
Yeah, I mean, if you can pick a couple, away wins on the road, it will stand you in good stead, to be amongst the contenders. So if they can bring that form into the top flight, it will really, really do well for them. I'm particularly happy for the people of Ibadan, or your state in general, because the manner in which they went down last year was particularly painful. And to come back right after that, takes a lot of character, it takes a lot of planning, and you've got to give it to them.
A lot of character, that is Baba saying it there. But I tell you, there's something about Shooting Stars. If there is a team that has history in Nigeria, you can't take it away from Shooting. Shooting is the first Nigerian football club to bring a continental trophy. Not just one, they won 2. They won the Cup Winners' Cup, and they also won the CAF Cup. And I tell you, with such a bad degree, suddenly they became a yo-yo club. This day they are up, tomorrow they are down. But let me remain with you. Do you see them maintaining this consistency? What has been wrong? What do you think would have been wrong that in making them not to sustain this premiership status that they're supposed to have?
Well, bad management is got to be over time. We all know this teams function as extensions of government, and Shooting Stars has been particularly unfortunate, maybe not to have the sort of attention that one would have expected a club of their stature, to be enjoying from the state government. But they seem to have a sport commissioner now who has a passion for the team, is following them around. He's seeing to maybe how the team is properly run. And again, I thought at some point they also fell into the assumption that if you played football before, you should make or you played for the team before, you should make a good administrator. I mean, it doesn't exactly work that way. It takes a lot of passion, a lot of experience, especially in this part, especially in understanding the dynamics of
the terrain.
Yeah, the terrain. To be able to do
the peculiarity.
Yeah.
I want to take it away, but I'm with you with what but I mentioned something here. They seem to have now a commissioner who understands sports. That's my problem. I certainly have a problem with it. I have a problem with that particular thing. Why I have that is that we've seen governors who are passionate. We've seen Oju Zokalo do it. We've seen in Lagos. We've seen a lot of and then the moment the governor leaves, Aminu with the economy experiments, is junior and senior, and then there is no. It has become personalized, not institutionalized. How do we get out of this? Maybe when you are thriving now, and suddenly there is a pharaoh who doesn't know Joseph.
Well, unfortunately, we can't. We can't seem to get out of it. I mean, if a governor comes in and does not like sports, the next thing he does is to give a political appointment to. Sports has become, that ministry where you send, just a political jobber to sit down there and do something. So the minute a governor goes out and another comes in and doesn't like sports, the team tend to suffer. And we saw glimpses of that with some of these teams in some states. All of the teams actually going on protest, demanding for their assignment fees.
Yeah, that is the best.
Demanding for their assignment fees and all of that.
Well, Shooting Stars as a test case. Upshooting for those of us. There was a time that when you are Shooting Stars or Rangers. I used to have a friend then, Omo Ibononi, that he supports shooting. Because I was supporting Rangers. So, when you have before, the best Gedigbe Rasaki Fadari of coming from Water Corporation to go into Shooting Stars, Ujebode, Modalawal, Shebo Degbami, Kunle Awesu, we call him slow poison. Those guys, they push it up there that it became. How do I say it? The support that they have, especially when you are gauging Shooting Stars playing stationary stores of Lagos. Now, why I'm saying all this is Shooting Stars should have about 1 million supporters in Lagos.
Definitely.
Don't you just give them a Damasimba, say take this stadium and then let the government send the answer people to buy. But at 1,000 naira, you can have 1 million people can have. I mean, that's almost 1 billion. Yep. Do you need a sport-loving governor, a sport-loving commissioner after that?
It's a failing that courses through the entire fabric or gamut of football administration in Nigeria. People not recognizing the sheer potential that the sports property that they manage, have. And it goes right up to even the Nigerian Football Federation. People are clueless. All they wait for are, this handouts, from government. And most often than not, more than half of the money goes into private pockets. But when they understand, the value, you can put a valuation to the property that you manage.
Valuation.
And then you can go out there and properly market it, and get the right monies in. Like you said, I mean, if you quantified the sheer number of followers that these clubs enjoy, it then begins to throw, right in front of you, the opportunities there are, the money-making opportunities that you can spin off around it. But when these people don't even realize it, they just feel, it's an opportunity, it's a meal ticket more or less. And so for those pecuniary gains, their thinking, their reasoning is clouded. They're not alive to these realities. But then, as more and more people who understand the business of football, get a chance to run these teams, we'll begin to see. In other parts of the world, there's something called crowdfunding, where the money with which the clubs are run is from the people who support the clubs.
Yes.
I mean, it's a concept that is very successful. It's a model that's worked.
And simplistic.
I mean, it's very simplistic. Any human being with half a brain should be able to, to make it work.
But I think we all have full brains.